Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this brand new series. Yes, it is back. We have got some more Hearts of Iron 4 coming in because I have been given a preview copy of Man the Guns by Paradox. Now, I should mention that I didn't get content uploaded onto YouTube as early as I'd hoped. I was away over the weekend, so I wasn't able to do any testing, and I was going to record it basically all day today, that being Monday. However, there were quite a few problems getting the game to work, not because of innate bugginess or anything like that. It's because I owned the Season Pass version of the game, which gave me a free copy of Man the Guns. However, the press copy, which is required for the pre-release content, wasn't compatible. So after talking to Paradox, we got it resolved, and basically required me to get an entirely new Steam account with an entirely new copy of the game and all of that stuff, but it took time to fix. So what I'm going to do here is just say I'm going to be streaming this on Twitch in about an hour. So as I'm recording this, it's about 4 PM. I will be going live on Twitch at 5 PM doing a full playthrough. So if you want to come join me live for my introduction to this game, because I've been able to do very, very little testing, then it is going to be kicking off at 5, and that's when you're going to be basically getting all the stuff. I will use this introduction video, I guess we'll call it, just to go through a couple of the new features, the new patch features, but it's not going to be in depth. If you want to get the really in-depth stuff, then join me for that stream later, when I will be playing as one of the nations in the game, which has had some updates and which I have a personal affinity for. Spoilers. So, right, what is going on here? Well, as you can probably guess from the intro screen, Man the Guns is a massive naval overhaul. Like, they have completely gutted the way that navies work and rebuilt it. And there are quite a few new things going on. One of the bits that I am the most excited about is the ship design element. So, whereas before you could have reliability, firepower, armor, and maneuverability, or was it speed, in exchange for naval experience, now you can actually outfit your ships. You can choose what guns they're using, you can choose whether they have torpedoes, how many aircraft they fit, what kind of armor they've kitted out with, what kind of engines they use. There's a really in-depth ship design element now in the game, and it also works between the different variants. So you could have a battleship built for like tanking, you could have a battleship built for long-ranged ground support to support your land forces through bombardment, etc. And we'll explore that when we actually play the game. They have added admiral traits and skills, much like the generals have traits and skills, and you can level them up over time. There are governments in exile. Now, this is something I am super interested in seeing, and I think this is going to be particularly relevant for Poland. So, if you were following me back when Hearts of Iron 4 first released, I did do a Poland playthrough, where I was basically trying to play as a Poland in exile. I had managed to get 11 divisions from Poland when it fell back to Britain, and then I was trying to use those, but it did not really work very well because I had no source of manpower to replenish losses. I had no source of equipment, so basically as my forces were whittled down, I had no way of replenishing them. And apparently there's an entirely new system to allow you to basically continue fighting. You can boost the legitimacy of your government in exile in return for more manpower. You can get some additional troops, and there are mechanics basically to support all of this stuff. So I might well do a Poland game again in the future just to revisit that, because I actually really enjoyed that game. It was bloody difficult, but it was a lot of fun. There are new focus trees and also focus updates for several nations. The Dutch have got a focus tree, the Mexicans have a focus tree, the US focus tree and the British focus tree have both had a fairly major update and overhaul. They've added naval mines, so you can now mine your coastlines to to make an invasion more difficult and less likely in certain areas. Plus, of course, the ability to sweep those mines and clear paths through to allow you to do a big push. They have got shipping route controls. Freaking finally, like, this is one of the things I was really excited and desperate to have. You can now choose where your convoys doing the trade stuff sail to, and you can say, don't sail here. As Germany, this English channel, it's so named for a reason. Don't sail through that, please. And also, you can block your amphibious assaults from using several provinces. So hopefully no more sailing off the coast of Norway when trying to invade Britain, for example. So there's just a lot more control about where exactly your convoys are going. They've added naval treaties, which allow you to determine the size of capital ships, and I think the number of capital ships. Or you can completely renege on it. You can say, yeah, sure, I'm not going to build any more ships. Build me loads of ships. As actually kind of historically happened. They've got new amphibious landing vehicles, which allows you to, I think, use mechanized and maybe tanks in amphibious attacks, maybe to support marines. I'm not sure how exactly that works. I didn't read that dev diary, apparently. But they've added that, and I think they've also added the ability to motorize artillery AA units. So no more slowing down your units or only using support companies. I think that is something, but they haven't actually added that in the features overview, but I believe that's true. So that's all stuff in the paid... Oh, and there's music as well. There's new music. So that's all stuff that's in the paid for DLC. So if you have the DLC Man the Guns, that's what you get. The free features, the big one, the headliner, is obviously fuel. So you still need to get oil as a resource, then you can use refineries to refine that into fuel. Fuel is used to power your air force, your navy, and your mechanized mobile elements of the army. So as, again, historically was a big issue for the Japanese and the Germans, it is possible to cut off their fuel supplies, which will make their mechanized forces far less effective, if just completely useless. I don't know exactly how restrictive that will become, but it is an aspect of the game, which now needs to be considered. There are different types of naval terrain, so your ships fight more or less well in various areas. So there is the open seas, where capital ships reign supreme. There are archipelagos and fjords, where the little ships like destroyers and cruisers reign supreme. And then there's a third one, which I just can't remember what it is. But these all modify the way that your ships function. And I believe that through focuses and through technology, you can tweak exactly how well your fleet does in certain terrain types. There are new map modes, like in Europa Universalis 4, so you can have like diplomatic map mode, religious map mode, trade goods map modes. Obviously those don't actually exist for Hearts of Iron, but that's the type of thing they've added. And then this one, which completely slipped under my radar. I didn't know they were doing it, but apparently there are now 70 releasable tags added to the game, which allow you to decolonize a lot of the big empires. So you can deconstruct the British Empire, you can destroy the French Empire, for example, and especially, I believe, in Africa, where you can release a bunch of the African nations there, and I think also some in India, like Bengal, Bangladesh, probably Pakistan, that type of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. But if you want to see that itself, then you are going to have to join me for the stream at 5 PM this evening. Right, I'm going to run off and get this rendered and uploaded so you can actually see it before I go live. I'll see you then. Goodbye.